surrounded tonight by people of extraordinary courage, and I know a thing or two about courage myself because I read a book with some courage in it one time, and it sounds really like a lot of work, so I'll just keep writing. I write, the most courageous thing that I've ever done is something called a press junket, which is actually pretty courageous, believe me, because they ask you the same questions over and over and over and over and over and over. I've done as many as 48 in a day, these interviews, and they don't come up with the fresh stuff. So there is one question that I've been asked almost every time I've been interviewed. So I thought tonight, briefly, I would share with you one question and a few of my responses, because when you're asked something 500 times, you really start to think about the answer. So now I will become a reporter. It's going to be amazing, a transformation. So, Joss, I, a reporter, would like to know, why do you always write these strong women characters? I think it's because of my mother. She really was an extraordinary, inspirational, tough, cool, sexy, funny woman, and that's the kind of woman I've always surrounded myself with. It's my friends, particularly my wife, who is not only smarter and stronger than I am, but occasionally actually taller, too. But only sometimes taller. I think it all goes back to my mother. So, why do you write these strong women characters? Because of my father. My father and my stepfather had a lot to do with it because they prized wit and resolve in the women they were with above all things, and they were among the rare men who understood that recognizing somebody else's power does not diminish your own. When I created Buffy, I wanted to create a female icon, but I also wanted to be very careful to surround her with men who not only had no problem with the idea of a female leader, but were in fact engaged and even attracted to the idea. That came from my father and stepfather, the men who created this man, who created those men, if you can follow that. So, why do you create these strong, how you say, the women? I'm in Europe now, so it's international. I don't know where, though. These strong women characters, well, because these stories give people strength, and I've heard it from a number of people, and I've felt it myself, and it's not just women, it's men, and I think there is something particular about a female protagonist that allows a man to identify with her, that opens up something that he might, an aspect of himself, he might be unable to express, hopes and desires he might be uncomfortable expressing through a male identification figure. So it really crosses across both, and I think it helps people, you know, in that way. So why do you create these strong women characters? Because they're hot. But these strong women characters, why are you even asking me this? This is like interview number 50 in a row. How is it possible that this is even a question? Honestly, seriously, why did you write that down? Why aren't you asking 100 other guys why they don't write strong women characters? I believe that what I'm doing should not be remarked upon, let alone honored, and there are other people doing it. But seriously, this question is ridiculous, and you just got to stop. So, why do you write these strong women characters? Because equality is not a concept. It's not something we should be striving for. It's a necessity. Equality is like gravity. We need it to stand on this earth as men and women. And the misogyny that is in every culture is not a true part of the human condition. It is life out of balance, and that imbalance is sucking something out of the soul of every man and woman who's confronted with it. We need equality. Kind of now. So why do you write these strong female characters? Because you're still asking me that question. Thank you very much for including me tonight. Thank you all.
Since 2006, Can't Stop the Serenity has gone to 80 cities in 9 countries and has raised over $400,000 for Equality Now and other charities. Well done and thank you.
Take my love, take my land, take me where I cannot stand. I don't care, I'm still free. You can't take the sky from me. Take me out to the black, tell them I ain't coming back. Burn the land and boil the sea. You can't take the sky from me. There's no place I can be since I found serenity. You can't take the sky from me.
Hi, I'm Joss Whedon. Before we begin this special screening, I have a little story I want to tell you. It's about a TV show called Firefly. Firefly went on the air a few years ago and was instantly hailed by critics as one of the most canceled shows of the year. It was ignored and abandoned, and the story should end there, but it doesn't. Because the people who made the show and the people who saw the show, which is roughly the same number of people, fell in love with it a little bit. Too much to let it go. Too much to lay down arms when the battle looked pretty much lost. In Hollywood, people like that are called unrealistic, quixotic, obsessive. In my world, they're called browncoats. Now, whether you watched the show or saw the DVDs or whether you've never set foot in the Firefly universe before tonight, the fact that you're here means that you're part of something that's a little bit remarkable. This movie should not exist. Failed TV shows don't get made into major motion pictures unless the creator, the cast, and the fans believe beyond reason. That's what I've felt. It's what I've seen in the DVD sales, the booths at the cons run by fans, the websites and the fundraisers. All the work the fans have done have helped make this movie. It is, in an unprecedented sense, your movie, which means if it sucks, it's your fault. You blew it. You let us down, but let's not dwell on your failures because the work is not done. I have to finish making it. This is not quite the final cut, and you will notice some placeholders in music and effects, but we're very close. Once we are finished, I have to get people to see it. Now, obviously the studio is going to do their thing. There'll be ads and trailers and all of that joy, but this movie doesn't have stars, and it doesn't have a giant mega budget or even a simple saleable premise. What it has is us, the people who believed unreasonably. If this movie matters to you, let somebody know. Let everybody know. Make yourselves heard. If you don't like the movie, this is a time for quiet, for months of silent contemplation. But when the unfinished credits roll, if you still call yourself a brown coat, remember the millions of people who don't, who might. I want us to do this together. The cast is going to be appearing wherever they can. I'm going to be blogging and stumping and whatever I can think of. We've got can'tstopthesignal.com up and running, I'm fairly certain. We're all doing everything we can to make this the event that it should be. Because remember, they tried to kill us. They did kill us, and here we are. We have done the impossible, and that makes us mighty. Thank you for helping to get this movie as far as it's gotten. Welcome to Serenity.